So today I'm going to share with you a version of like the lion, the snitch, and the lockdown, and the truth about your sovereignty. And what I really, you're probably getting, are you getting a bit of a ring-a-ding-a-ding sort of sound with the title? If you know what the title this one is drawn inspiration from, drop it down below. Let me see if you are in the rhythm. Thanks Christy for tagging. Lovely to see those of you coming onto the live. As you come onto the live, welcome. I'm going to have a chat with you in about 20 minutes, try and do a condensed version of really what I wanted to share with you about this topic and connecting you with your sovereign self. So for some reason, my normal messaging feature to alert people isn't really working. So hopefully that you're all going to find your way in here soon, because I didn't tag people as I went on. But Christy's doing a good job for that. So here's the thing. I wanted to, bring me back on here. Hi. So as you come on in, say hi, wave hello, connect with us here. And has anyone got the title rhythm yet? Like the lion, the snitch, and the lockdown. Have you got the title? I'm going to share with you some of my insights, and I've kind of borrowed it. Hi, Teresa. Lovely to see you. Excellent. I know that there was a lot of people that said that they wanted to come to this live, and they acknowledged that they're coming. There was like at least 16 or 17 people already, and I only just put it out. So I was like, oh, okay, this is a hot one. This is something that people really do want to connect with, especially in the experience that we're going through at the moment. So, while I'm waiting for more people to come on in to actually share the content that I want to personally share, I drew my inspiration. Has anyone read the book, or the book's called The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, and the movie is called Narnia. Have you watched it or seen it? Give me a yes or a no, not yet. And it's something that I definitely encourage you to check out and read. I mean, the movie was done by Disney, so you can imagine that there is a lot of information in there, right? But the book is also, and how I'm going to translate this is going to be different, but similar. The book itself, understand this, the actual, to give you the very beginning plot summary and very wrapped up tight. Essentially, during World War II, there's 4 kids that are shipped off for their safety, right? And they're staying at this house, which has, they're exploring, and they discover, Lucy discovers a wardrobe, a box, that gives her access to another world, right? The world of Narnia. And in this world, there is a witch, a white witch, inverted, that her goal is, in this world, wants to be able to capture all of humanity. Is it sounding something like, something to think about, right? And in the book, or the movie, there's Aslan, who you could have as the representation, a version of Christ, who is participating as the savior, standing up for the rights of the people, and basically dying for the rights of the people. So, if you haven't read that book or watched that book, or maybe you've got a new perspective now to consider it, go check it out. Watch the movie or read the book. I'm going to sneeze. I always seem to do that. So, I drew my inspiration for the title. I'm going to sneeze. I drew my inspiration for the title from that book. And what I wanted to share with you today is to really give you some focus and direction in how to really step into your own power. Because in this version of this content piece, hi to whoever is just popping on, I can see the numbers going up for the people watching, but I can't necessarily see you. So hit the love button, because it gets everyone, if you can hit the love button, it's going to increase the visibility in the feed for other people to see and know that I'm live, which will be wonderful. So please smack away at that love button, please. And hi Donna, thanks for the comments down below, because that also facilitates going up in the feed. And what I want to share today is really important. Hi Lorianne, gorgeous to see you. I love doing lives. I love interacting with you. I love being able to be with you in my community. You know, it can be quite a lonely world if you're in bubble, and that's actually an intention, right? To think about it. You know, those of us that are awake and have always had some knowing, some connection, like something's different, something's off, something doesn't really make sense. You think differently, you vibrate differently, you have a different perspective on things, you question things a lot more. You know, in the past, it felt like we were very separated, and that was kind of intentional. Whereas now we're vibrating very quickly together, and it's an important experience, because when we bring our vibrations together and we create intentionally together, we increase our vibration collectively, our vortex increases, and we create an even bigger power. Hi, Elaine, fantastic. Lovely to see you. And Elaine, I noted that you just responded to my private message just anytime after on this live call when I'm ready. So if just send me privately yes or no, and I'll know that what that response is. So the liar, the snitch, and the lockdown. This is designed for you to stimulate you with your own critical thinking. Please don't take what I say as gospel. Don't take it and just own it, because that's just doing the same damn thing what the media wants you to do and everything else. I really want you to explore what I'm sharing and discern for yourself. Does this make sense for you? Does this create some critical thinking for you to ask some different questions? Then I really have achieved my outcome. That's my intention. Really having you focused on where you're going with your intention, because your focus and how you get that focus is where your power is. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail with that, okay? But what's my version of the liar, the snitch, and the lockdown? Well, that is very much connected with the liar, the puppets, right? The people who are acting as the puppets for the demonic forces or the archonic forces or the spiritual world. For those of you just jumping on, I was just sharing that my inspiration for the title came from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And if you're not familiar with it, or maybe you haven't watched it or seen it in a while, hi, Sonia. Thank you. Love it. Lovely to see you. Oh, you all found me. See, it's working, folks. You're smashing the love button when you come on. Smash that love button. Tag people in. Say hello, because it really does increase in the algorithm. And now it's just jumped up and spiking up quickly with people coming on board. So thank you for that. Please smack, 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 smack on that love button. And I really appreciate it. Hi, Sonia. I love doing the lives. This is so much better and more fun than me just recording a video for you. I will use it as a replay on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, you know, still, or even on the replay here on Facebook in the community or wherever you see it, please leave a comment. I will do my best to still circulate and be engaged with you and connect with you. This is really important. So The Liar, the Snitch, and the Lockdown is being drawn inspiration from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And if you haven't watched it or read it, go read it, because it's very relevant to this time right now. And also the movie Narnia is another option that you can, if you feel like you would rather watch it rather than read it, though we all typically have a better experience when we read the book. We get more detail. But I'm gonna sort of turn it a little bit. And this is just my interpretation, my inspiration. So again, please just take it with a grain of salt and appreciate the offering of what I'm having today, but be critical thinking for yourself and tune into your intuition. So the liar is, in my interpretation of this one, is all of the puppets, the human puppets that are being facilitated by the demonic or archonic forces. And if you're thinking about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, remember I said to you that as soon as they crossed in through the wardrobe and into Narnia, it's a different dimension, a different reality. But that reality, the White Witch, her whole intention was to capture all of humanity, who at the time was going through World War II. Something to think about and be critically minded about. Don't just take it as a book and a story. What is the symbology being represented through all of that, right? So anyway, the liar and the snitch. Okay, well, the demonic forces are the influences, right? The puppets are all the influences, the iconic people in sports and media and TV personalities, movie, etc. Politicians even, right? I don't know if we really call it, but you know, some people get really into the idolizing of politicians. God knows who, but anyway, some people do, right? And so these puppets that are willing to sell their souls out in order to be able to have the fame, the wealth, the love, the power, the whatever it is that they want to have, but at the cost of, there's a trade-off, right? And there's a trade-off with that. But here's the thing, the snitch are all of the people who get idolize those puppets, fall into the hypnotic trap of being influenced by them, and they essentially give away their soul as well. It's like consent. It's the way that it is. And so the snitching is like, how do you control a population? Well, you can do it by force and tyranny in one factor, but you can then have the people turn against the people, and that's going to have potentially a much more effective strategy than throw in all tactics around that to create division, divide and conquer, right? And the lockdown, well, again, that's about the isolation, isn't it? Lockdown and imprisonment. That's about having, you could, if you haven't watched my previous video, this where I talk about two narratives running in this same timeline. Actually, I'm not sure if I posted on here, but let me give you this one, right? So there's two timelines running right now. There's one about health, and then and that one sounds like the government saying, for your safety, we want you to do this. Well, for your safety, what they're really saying is to control you, right? Or there's another narrative that is saying, I'm stepping into my sovereignty, I'm stepping into my power. And that one is about you really owning your power. The first one is about giving your power away to an outside experience versus really taking ownership of your power and your sovereignty. And, most people treat, their experience of the symptoms that show up when they're out of their power, right? People are in a shaken sense of certainty right now. So what do people do when they're not certain? They're looking for certainty. They're looking for someone to be dependent on, the government, the health department, thing that you put in your body to improve your vaccination or your immunity. Like, listen, here's the thing. If the truth was, if it was really about health and they want to mandate the injection for health, then why aren't they mandating quality, healthy food, organic food? Why aren't they mandating daily exercise? Why aren't they mandating rest? Why aren't they mandating recreation? Why aren't they mandating drinking quality, healthy, pure water? Why aren't they mandating all these things, including mandating against the chemicals to destroy the organic nature of these? That would be a real true line of health, wouldn't it? I don't know. Something to consider about, right? And I know many of you who are watching this, you're attracted to this community because you're already in alignment with this direction of thinking where I'm going with this. But I feel that maybe I can facilitate some words and to give you the tools to be able to communicate or shift your energy to communicate more effectively with yourself and with other people. And so that you don't get caught up in giving away your power. We all do it. I do it too sometimes. I mean, just recently I got caught up with getting all angry about something with a position of thinking. And, and then that just creates division, right? But the key is we've got to stay at peace. We've got to stay at peace. And that's where we have our true sovereignty. We have our when we're centered and we're poised and we're able to have that stable, component within ourselves because we're coming from our true source, then that's an experience that we can then transfer and translate to other people. And here's the thing, to be in your power, it's all about your energy, your vibration. But what is that? All right. And a lot of people think, yeah, I know what that is. Well, do you? Do you really? Do you really? And this isn't to say maybe you don't. It's just like, let's just explore this a little bit more, right? Excuse me. And so let's explore this a little bit more. So raising, having a higher vibration requires you to be able to have a higher frequency. And in order for you to have a higher frequency, you need to have higher thoughts or be tuning into the higher thoughts so that the fuel for the frequency. Whatever frequency that you're operating at, you're going to manifest the symptoms, the behavior and the symptoms of what your fuel you're tuning into, the thoughts that determine your frequency, that determine your behavior / symptoms, that determine your vibration, your results, right? The experience that you're having and the experience that's reflected back to you in your world. because there are very different timelines going on right now. And if people are in a dense low frequency, they're going to keep getting head-butted, smacked in the face with a lot of really mucky stuff. And they're not going to be able to see with the visibility, the veils down for all the other potentialities that are going on at the same time. When you raise your frequency and you have a higher vibration, you're able to see the bigger picture. You're able to have wisdom and discernment. Exercise wisdom and discernment that allows you to go, okay, well, I can see that that's a potential timeline. It's not one that I'm buying into, and this is the one that I'm locking my attention on. So what this really comes down to with your power is words. And words are very important. They either liberate you or they imprison you. Let me give you an example. Who saw the footage of Victor from this the arrest situation a couple of days ago from the weekend? Who saw that? I'd love to know who saw that and who had an experience of enjoying watching him portray that with a bit of a cheekiness to it, right? And if you didn't see it, then I'll find a way to put a link into the comment box down below or the replay in the YouTube description box. But essentially, the police were trying to get him to say something specifically so they could detain him. But he knew that the words that he needed to use to keep in his liberation, or if he fell into the trap of using the other words, he was going to potentially be in prison. He was still unlawfully arrested anyway, but that's by the by. But the thing is, when you're in your power, you can overcome a lot of those things anyway. But your words are very important. I thought that was really interesting to be able to share that. And, here's another thing about words. The syntax of words is important. So is the way that they're then edited. So you'll see the media taking information that is then distorted because they've rearranged the syntax of the words or of the experience, so it portrays a different meaning. That's why the media is so hypnotic, and they're allowed to lie, right? They're allowed to lie, which is insane. But you need to, that's the game in life, right? On earth, your job is to wake up to the deception and to be in your power. And so let me give you an example. Think about these two sentences, same words, different syntax. The dog bit Johnny, or Johnny bit the dog. It's two different meanings, isn't it? Completely two different meanings. And so your words do matter. It's very important. And understand that to deceive us in layers of deception, the liars on the planet, they understand the power of psychology. They understand the power of words. They understand how the law of words work for our sovereignty, for us and against us. It's time to wake up and understand the power of words that determine your frequency, that determine your behavior, your actions, and the symptoms, the results that you're going to experience, and which will be an indicator of the vibration that you are operating at on a most consistent basis. And so you really want to be, instead of trying to shift your behaviors, you want to be looking at, well, what are the thought forms that I'm tuning into? What are the words that I'm dedicated to? What am I saying to myself and others in conversation? What am I creating with those words? Because those are the wands, right? That's the wand. And you will either, when you use your words, they're activating your reticular activation system in your brain, which will help you determine what you're focused on and filtering out the rest. Many of you have done a couple of processes with me where I've taken you through that, like look around the room and look for the color green, and then I get you to come back to me and say, well, what was red? And you'll laugh because you're like, well, I don't really know, and you're guessing, right? Because you were tuned into green, but you weren't tuned into red, but red was still there. So it's the same thing, that like we have multiple potentialities going on at any given moment, and which one are you tuning into that you are bringing to life, that you are operating and in your vibrational field and tuning into? No different than like having, look, there are so many frequency waves going around the world at any given moment, and let's just tune into the radio waves right now, right? There are a lot of radio stations that you can tune into. You can tune into anyone around the world, right? anyone that you want. You just need to know the code. You need to know what is the destination point for you to tune into, so you can listen to that information formed in alignment so you can interpret that effectively. You can tune into something from Australia to America or anywhere else in the world. It doesn't have to be local if you know the code. Well, the code is your word. The words you use will determine the destiny that you are pointing your attention at and setting your intention. But you've got it, your words are going to be your attention director, if you like. They're going to determine the meaning that in the quality of life that you have and the experience you have in any moment and the vibration set point for you. So your word is law, and the law is defined by your words. If you want to liberate yourself and be in your sovereignty, choose your words really wisely. Is this useful? Is this helpful? I just want to get a bit of feedback, interaction. Hi, everybody. So great to see you. Lots of people coming on in. If you've just come on in, please make sure you go back and watch the full replay, because I just went through a fair bit about the whole capturing that. But let me just encapsulate that in a short little piece for you here. Your sovereignty is in your vibration. Your vibration is the effect of the frequency that you attune with. Your frequency is aligned with your emotional experience. Your emotional experience is determined by your thoughts. Your thoughts are shaped by the words you focus on and use, and your words are your power. So use your words wisely to communicate with yourself and with others. Powerful? Now, here's the challenge. Are you ready? Because you say, yeah, Katie, I know better. I know this. But let me ask you this. Do you have experiences where you get caught in thought loops, negative ones, right? Do you have experiences where you feel like your energy, your emotions are hijacked, and you might even be witnessing yourself going off and your brain's going, I don't really know why I'm getting so elevated in this, but I'm just, right? And you're giving away your power in that process. When you are being led by the emotion, instead of tuning into the emotion and taking the message from the emotion and utilizing that, right? Emotion, the full landscape of emotions is really useful, but if you're letting it direct you, it's a problem, right? Because it means that your perception and your electromagnetic field has been hijacked, your emotional field and your mental field. We have different bodies. We have the physical body, which is the expression, the manifestation of the etheric body, which is like Narnia, right? The place that another dimension, another realm that is available all around us, but not necessarily visible to our five senses or experiential to our five senses. We need our psychic senses activated to experience that. But then we also have our mental body, our emotional body, and we have a spiritual body. We have other bodies too, but we're just going to focus in on these. These are the ones I teach as the basics to be able to really get this integration process. But you are physically hijacked through your perception in your brain, through the brain waves, your frequency, as well as the electromagnetic field of your body, your toric field. So those are being manipulated with all the frequencies on the planet right now. And if you don't know how to tune your frequency into a higher vibration, you're caught in the net. And so that's giving away your power. It's being depleted. It's being hijacked. It's being heisted. And many people don't even know that it's going on, even if people are thinking that they're awake. And, our words are our power, but sometimes we get caught in these negative loops or these negative emotional spins, and we're like, oof, but that's just being literally hooked up to the matrix and siphoned for your energy and being controlled like a puppet. So how do we get over that? Well, I'd love to tell you that that's an easy answer in a response in a 20-minute video, but it's not. It's a process of learning the spiritual tools, the power tools to have the deepest level of self-awareness, to connect with your higher self, so that you can open up that channel of intuition and fully activate your psychic senses, so that you can be trusting to use your intuition as well as looking at the perception of the world. You have a different experience. You have a broader perspective. You're not activated as much by energetic influences, and if you are, you know how to harness that energy back to yourself and master that energy so you can stay back in alignment. This is powerful stuff, and at no time ever than before in the time of history of humanity is this important. I cannot express enough how important this is. This is so important. And there is no more better time than now to leap into making that dedication to learning these skills and getting spiritually fit. Because this is an experience that's happening that we're seeing it expressed in the physicality, but we cannot have our power back in the physical realm alone. It's a spiritual realm that we need to be harnessing our power. And I really want to influence you to understand that and connect with that. And above, I've given you an opportunity to connect you with, if you're looking to take that next step to be trained and go through that process where you're going to have 6 weeks of deep dive. And it's not, doesn't stop at 6 weeks, because I'm always saying, don't do a program or a course to finish it. It's do it to upskill, up level, and then get yourself into a practice where you're continuing it, which is why I create this community, and I've got additional next level communities. But even if like someone says, okay, I want to just be practicing this for a while, this is the place that I have you in a container that's safe, and to facilitate that, right? To keep those activities up, and where you've got some level of community for accountability. Because what happens when you're isolated? Let's go back to the beginning of this conversation. In the lockdown, the box. You're separated. You know, we operate at a higher level when we're in a community. And, you know, my goal is to have you wake up to that sense of self-leadership, that you choose to operate at a higher standard, even if you're with someone else or not, because you're connected in the network worldwide anyway, and you really get that, you really understand that. But when there is this perception that we are separated, sometimes we don't really do the things that we know we should do, right? And so by doing an opportunity where you're getting led and guided through the processes, clearing through a lot of the stress so that you're creating that peace within yourself, you're really stepping into the clarity of your power, of what is important to you. What are you willing to die for? What are you willing to stand for? What are you willing to really make your life about? What are you tuned into? And helping you clear through all the energetic blocks, the emotional, mental blocks in the way that prevent you from creating what you're choosing to create as your highest order for yourself and the highest order for all of humanity. Is this powerful? Hi, Denise. Really gorgeous to see you in here. Hi, Elaine. Elaine says we need to undo the programs that we were used to as well. Absolutely. It's called unlearning, very much unlearning. So, Elaine, I'm going to flick you a link, and if you can come on in, great, come on in. I'm going to send this through to you in a private message. And if you can, come join us. I'm going to chat to you, because you've had such, we had a little chat yesterday, and I thought, ooh, if you're open to having a chat and coming online and sharing your experience, that would be amazing. If not, that's okay. I'm putting you on the spot. So I appreciate, you don't have to say yes. And by the way, that's a program too. A lot of people think, oh, just I have to be nice, I have to be polite. No, you don't. I mean, you don't have to be rude, but you don't have to say yes, right? It's a request. And we give away our power often when we overcommit to saying yes to people. You know, for requests over and over and over. This is very typical of, you know, light workers, right? Empaths, light workers, people who are very empathic and also very much in their power, are very intuitive and anticipating other people's needs. And the biggest thing that will give away your power is having poor boundaries and a lack of understanding that a request is a request, not a demand. Beck says, yeah, do it, Mum. So Elaine, come on in if you're ready. And if you don't want to be on video, but you want to be on audio, you can do that too. Ah, look at this. Awesome. Everybody give some love to Elaine. Everybody give some love to Elaine. Hi, Elaine. How are you? Let's hang on. Go ahead. Can you? I just unmuted it on my end as far as the speaker sound. Teresa says, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Don't give away your power. Absolutely. Christy says, so true, Katie. Speak what serves us with a level of respect. Awesome. Hi, Elaine. Can you hear me?
I can. There is some echoing, Katie.
Have you got me open on Facebook?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe.
It's not too bad for the echo, but often what that happens is because you've got open up on Zoom as well as a Facebook with the video.
Oh, okay. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, so if you can close the Facebook one, that would just probably give you a better experience and less echo. Bex is like, yay! So, hey, Bex, you need to be joining us in the next round. This is going to be, and when we go through these shifts in the energetics, we actually, in the community, you create that vortice, that energy that helps elevate you out of really tricky situations. Now, I'm an expert, for those of you who are new to me and my work, and welcome to the many, many hundreds of new people in this group. So thank you for joining us. We actually just hit 900 last night. Woohoo! Awesome. But I wanted to let you know a little bit about my background. I'm an ex-paramedic, trained also in psychology and chiropractic, and personal trainer. And also I am an intuitive super empath. Like, I've really tuned in, cleared a lot of the wounding. It's a constant journey, but I've cleared a lot of the energy blocks within me. I'm helping other people facilitate going through that process, clearing the energy and the mental and the emotional blocks. These are the thing that will keep you stuck in the matrix, stuck from moving forward and stuck in stress, is programming and trauma. Trauma equates to emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, and financial. Is what's happening right now an excessive force of fear and traumatizing the planet into any of those patterns right now? Big fat yes. Yes, right? And so that's when you understand that that's the way that people, that the energetics of trying to control people, when you know the tools that help you override that, you are in your superpower. And so the Awakened Soul program is all about helping you clear, awaken to the programming, heal the energetic and mental blocks, as well as manifesting through creating very clearly, intentionally, in alignment with your power. Elaine, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Katie. Hi, everyone. How you going?
Give Elaine some love. Smash that love button, and then
hi, everyone.
And kudos to you, because I just put you on the spot. I didn't even prepare you.
Thank you.
I saw you pop up and I thought, well, why not? We had a little conversation yesterday. It was super powerful. So we're only actually into finishing up week 4 of 6 weeks of the Awakened Soul program. I have, just to help people understand, I have a transformational journey arc, and it starts with really, let's get your power reclaimed, right? Reclaiming your power, being that emotional and mental intelligence, but connected with your heart, your mind, your heart, and your soul. So you've got your North Star ready to go. In the next level program that I offer and I run after, you have to complete the foundation program. Otherwise, I will not accept you into the Soul Goal Academy. But Soul Goal Academy is like a Ferrari. Like the Awakened Soul program is like learning how to drive the Ferrari. Soul Goal Academy is we all get the Ferraris and we zip, we go, right? At warp speed. And it's manifesting. It's going deep into energy, time, money, and the programming around that, the power tools around that, so that you can really learn to harness and master facilitating that in the 5D reality, which we're all moving into. If you choose, if you don't, you're going to be stuck in a matrix that is crumbling and not working, and you cannot use the old strategies anymore. Have you noticed? So, and then there's another program that I have after that, which is turning your ideas into income. I show you how to turn your ideas into money online. I've created multiple 6 figures online, just being in my soul, SOUL, preneurship, helping other people facilitate their intelligence, their skill set, their soul's journey, their path, and showing them how to actually create a container to be of service to humanity and be paid abundantly for it. Is all of that bloody exciting?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. I do have other programs as well called my Mastermind, the Love Light Leadership Academy. And that's a mastermind. Again, it's higher level. I have my Quantum Leap mentoring, and I have annual Soul Awakening retreats, though they're kind of put on hold right now until we actually have everything sorted out. But Elaine, I wanted to address the Awakened Soul program, the first step. How powerful is it? It is unbelievably, overvalued. Would you agree?
Oh my goodness, Katie, I cannot speak highly enough of it. I feel so empowered right now. I know there's way more to go, but I just feel so great. I almost feel like I'm walking on air sometimes. Good. And I have to pinch myself so that I can come back to reality. But I don't want to stay in that 3D matrix. I want to keep flying because I know there's so much more.
Exactly.
And this is how I'm getting there.
Don't come back to the Matrix reality.
Oh, I'm never going back there.
Focus.
That's crap there.
Yeah, awesome. And if you know, what did you think? Take yourself back before you joined the program. You know, where were you at before the program, and what's shifted for you since in just 4 weeks?
Do you know what? Before, I knew that I was a good person, but I didn't really totally believe in myself. I probably didn't give myself the self-love and the nurturing that I needed to, because for years I've given to everybody else. Excuse me, I can still do that, but now I love me for who I am, and I'm very proud of who I am. So that's really opened that up for me. So again, I feel like I'm kind of out there sparkling and sharing light and stuff. And for me, that's fabulous as well, because there's so many people out there now who are scared, they're frightened of what's happening. So they need to have a ray of sunshine to help them get through it as well.
Exactly. And, you know, one of the key things that light workers and even those who are awake, right, the one key thing that most people are afraid of is shining their light, because they're afraid of being attacked. And let me be really fair. The attacks are real. The attacks are not just in this reality, which are manifested that way. The attacks are psychotronic, the attacks are spiritual, and the attacks are psychological, and they're emotional. And there is so much that goes on. Now, if you have holes in your boundaries, holes in your auric field, because you're leaking your power, you're also susceptible to being hijacked with your power. And if you don't learn those skills and implement them and harness and master your energy, that restricts you from the confidence to shine your light, because it's too easy to then just have it exhausted, you burn out, right? And so what I'm teaching you in the Awakened Soul program is I'm teaching you all about how to create those really healthy boundaries so that you can amplify your light. And it's not so much, it's about protection, but it's not so much about, the focus is on protection. It's about owning your space so that you can just be in your power, and you're like, instead of that monster like rah at you, you're like, bugger off. You little gnat. Right? And you can release that. And that way, when you have that healthy self-love and you have those healthy boundaries, you have the wisdom and the discernment to okay, what is hijacking my energy here? And am I going to determine this and allow this? Or am I going to make a few decisions here because I have healthy boundaries, because I love myself, because I love the world, and because I know what I value, I know what I stand for, I know what I die for. Poof, healthy boundaries. If we don't have that clarity, we're a ship lost at sea. And if anyone is into the awareness of words, like I've been talking about at the beginning of the program, or beginning of this call, words are powerful. Do you realize that your word citizenship, I mean, hello, we break it down. Which country are you tied to under the maritime law that all of our governments in the hundreds of years, like what's been going on, have overlaid our governments, which is supposed to be for the people, right? With corporations, with the maritime law. And so your identity as a person is tied to a country for your citizenship, right? And if you really go and do the digging on that, this is what I'm planting seeds, because this is a huge topic. But you know, you need to reclaim yourself, so you're no longer, you know, lost at sea or held by the state, which once they have you, is technically in their power and their control. But if you know the law in your constitution, in your country, which the real constitution, not the fake ones that they've tried to overlay, then you understand the power of words, and the words are law. And so there's a really important experience that you must learn your skill set in your spiritual space, so that you have the confidence to be able to, and the energy, right? The energy. So that you can explore and critically think, and so you can learn. The fastest way to keep someone controlled is to deplete them of their energy and keep them in a stressed state, and they're going to be in survival, and they're going to be scrambling constantly in chronic cortisol and adrenaline running, so their bodies are in complete burnout and overwhelm, and not directional in where you're going and what you're creating. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, Elaine, what would you say to somebody who is sitting on the fence about joining us in the next round of the Awakened Soul program? I'm doing one more round this year. I don't know when I'll be doing it again after that. But it's a really amazing opportunity. And I don't know when I'll be doing it again live. I might have it open for people to be able to do as a home study. Maybe, I don't know. But you really do want to jump on in for the live experience. And normally, even as a home study, I charge $997 US to be able to access the 6-module content and the members area and the skill sets and the tools. But in the moment, because I know that people are hurting financially, I want everybody to do this with no resistance. And it's like, I've got it almost a third the price. It's at $369 for the early bird to jump on in and join us. We're going to be going live from the 8th of June. And if that's still a little bit of a stretch, then choose the payment plan. You can get started today for $111, and then that's going to be 4 payments, but then that's over a monthly period, once a month for 4 months. So it really is a no-brainer for anyone and everyone who really needs up level. And it doesn't matter where you're at, you need to up level, right?
Definitely.
So what would you say to someone sitting on the fence?
Oh, look, I would have to say, after me being in here for 4 weeks only, that it is just, wow, you've just got to do it, because it will, even if you are advanced in yourself and your self-love and what you believe is to be true, this will take you so much further so quickly. And I just can't speak highly enough of it at all.
Fantastic.
I'm really grateful that I found you, Katie. I don't know how I found you. I found the group. Everyone is lovely. Everyone's so supportive, and that's really good too, especially in this time.
Exactly. Thank you. And it makes me laugh because, you know, how you find me is a very similar, it's the same thing from almost everybody. Most people have found me because their soul has led them to here, to me, to this experience. And trust that your soul has led you to this community, the Awakened Soul Revolution community. Your soul has led you to me, and me to you. The attraction of the tribe. There's a skill that I teach on how to cast your energetic net. And so you can draw all the people and the resources from throughout the entire universe who are aligned with you back to you, to re-coordinate all time, space, dimension, realities, and people and resources to align you to be in alignment. Now, for those of you who are in business, how amazing would that be? Some of you are trying old marketing skills. They haven't been working for a long time, and they're really showing that they're not working now. It doesn't matter what you want to manifest. If you're an entrepreneur, or I call them soulpreneurs, because that's who is attracted to me, because I do business differently. I don't do it with the hard push. I do it with an attraction mechanism. And it doesn't matter whether you want to manifest more clients, or whether you want to manifest, where you want to live next, or, the ideal relationship, or the ideal bank account. All of these have the 4 B's, right? You have your bonding, your business, your bank account, and your body. Those 4 things are those 4 areas are where people want to have a manifestation or an experience. They're up leveling that experience. But most people go and okay, let's take the body, for example. Oh, well, I'm going to change my behavior. I'm going to go running. I'm going to eat better. But then go into the sabotage cycles, right? Same with money. Attract money, lose money. Attract money, lose money. Same with relationships. I want the ideal relationship. Oh, shit. This is just the same experience, different face. Or it doesn't matter what it is, because what they are energetic programs and traumas blocked in the emotional and mental field. When you know how to clear those, then you can manifest with ease in the physical realm, in the bonding, business, bank account, and body. So if you really are excited about this and it resonates with you, please click the link above, go check out the registration page, grab it while it's at a discount for $369. Also, if you do pay in full at $369, I have 10 spots open. It was 20 last time, but I have a client load at the moment that is full. So I can squeeze in 10 more spots for those that jump in at $369. You'll also get a bonus one-on-one call with me for 30 minutes. That alone, I normally charge $397. So it's just a no-brainer. Elaine. Speak to
Yes.
the experience of the one-on-one calls, because you decided to up level to the VIP, which includes one-on-one with me.
Yes. Oh, Katie, I look forward to them every single week. I'm like, yay, is it today? Oh, no, it's not. It's tomorrow. So those for me also give me more clarity. I really am speechless because they have done so much for me. And I thank you for that. I'm really grateful because I'm finding the true me. I've always been a person that doesn't really care what people think about me. Now I'm even more dangerous because I really, really, really don't care.
Let's just stay powerful, more powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And, you know, it's a really important aspect. Like, if you want to accelerate yourself through the process of really being in your power, jump onto the Awakened Soul program. If that's what you can afford, go for that one. If you can afford and you're creative and you're able to figure out a way to jump on one of the exclusive openings that I sometimes open for VIP, they're not available right now, but when I have some of my clients complete their cycle, I might have some spots open, and then I might open up some VIP for the next round. Other than that, at the moment, it's just a group training for $369. But you still get a lot of access to me, don't you, Elaine?
Absolutely. You're right there.
Like, I'm all over your feed.
I know, you're watching.
It's something that really is going to support you in your journey. So, Elaine, I want to thank you. Can everybody give a big yes to Elaine?
Thank you, guys. That I'm just really grateful, and I'm overwhelmed because I'm so glad to be here.
That's awesome.
In all aspects, I'm really glad to be here. Glad to be alive, glad to be within a great community of like-minded people.
Awesome. And I honor you because you're taking that leadership in making sure that you're operating in light leadership. And then that's going to have a ripple effect on your family, your community. And it creates enormous awakening and healing, even if it's not immediate. I can tell you from my own experience, and I've worked with so many people that has created similar experiences. But for those who are new to my story, I'm 45 in a few months' time. And I'm so excited about that. I feel like I get younger and more in alignment with my power the older I get. So I get really excited about that. So, and more masterful in what I'm creating. But for many, many, many years, like many of you, had a very complicated sort of emotional relationship with one of my parents. It was my dad. For some of you, it's your mom, right? Or it might be with your kids or whatever it is. But I grew up feeling very different to my family. I felt like, what? Was I adopted? Really? But what I've realized and come to a place with all of this, right, is that that journey as the empath, the light worker, we need to have those extreme contrasts in our life when we have the narcissists, the sociopaths, the psychopaths, the really difficult experiences in preparation for this exact time right now. In preparation for this exact time right now. Now, I've been doing the inner work for decades and really accelerated in the last 4 years when I had my big wake-up call, a couple of big wake-up calls that really made me realize, holy crap, I can't run from my soul anymore. Because I would run from my higher purpose, because I always knew that I was meant to be a light leader on the planet and leading people to a complete soul revolution. But, for decades and decades, I just thought, holy crap, that's just too overwhelming of a responsibility. I don't want that, right? And who am I to go into that? But for me to be able to step into that place, it was almost like this, my soul just said, look, we're going to hit you with 4 Mack trucks right now. You have to stop, you have to hear it, and you have to surrender. If you don't, we're going to make you, kind of thing. And how many of you had similar experiences where you kind of like, you've been running, and then you finally go, okay, you know what, I'm going to surrender into it. And let me tell you, since surrendering into it, it's been an incredible journey. It's easier, but it's not an easy path, right? Because it's very confronting. It's very empowering at the same time. It's liberating. But as a result of doing that inner work, my relationship with my father has come to a point where he's now awake too, because I created that opportunity. I created the light. I created the healing within me. Instead of creating the conflict and the division, created the healing, and it allowed that attraction, that safe place for when he woke up, he knew exactly that, you know, he could speak, he could talk, and he knew his ego could take a back seat. Make sense? So I know many of you have got difficult relationships going on in your life. Just about every single person that comes through these programs has difficult relationships. I promise you that I have also seen so many of the people who've gone through my programs also facilitate great healing. Sometimes moving away from relationships, but then because the internal relationship with self is healed. And so there's not a sense of attachment to those relationships anymore, where there's this guilt and all the other stuff that goes on that keeps you stuck into the matrix. But even with relationships like mine with my father, for example, that creates that also healing. So it allows the people around you to heal. But we have to do it internally with ourselves. We are the ones who are in the genealogical line, where these programmings and traumas have been passed down the genealogical line in the energetic field. And if many of you are going to realize what I'm going to say here, we've been called to action with our soul to turn around and face that wall of fire. And we're like, no, we're not, we're putting the fire out. We're not allowing these energetic patterns to perpetuate anymore. We're shifting up into a high level of energetic freedom. And if that makes sense to you, then you definitely know that you're ready for the Awakened Soul program. Because most people don't know logically why they are called to do it. If you're feeling an energetic resonance with it, just make the leap for the quantum manifesting, because I promise you, it is exactly what you need. And you'll know that the minute that you're in it. Any final words, Elaine?
No, just please, if you are thinking about doing it, please do take that leap. Take a leap of faith, because you will not look back. Your life will turn around. Even if you think it's great now, it's going to be so much better. So just do it.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I appreciate every single one of you. If you really enjoyed this call, smash the love button, tag somebody in, or share it if you're on YouTube. Make sure that you also connect with my YouTube channel, because I put extra meditations, I put extra videos out there as well. But also join, if you're not in this Awakened Soul Revolution group, join us in here, because I would do different content in here, extra content in here too. And if you choose, when you choose to join us in any next level programs, you've got that option. There's the invitation, there's the next step, but there's never any obligation with it. I'm definitely here though to help facilitate the rise of humanity, the lighting up and being in the self-leadership, so that you are in your sovereign power, creating the life that you deserve, desire, and delighted with. Much love and light, everybody. Manifesting. Big thank you again, Elaine. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.